So Mr. Crossfield has been online again upsetting people about shafts. I was in his initial video on the topic, so I thought I would do a little video myself. Do I agree with Mark or do I not? Hi guys, thanks for checking the video out. Steve Buzza here. And like I say, I'm talking shafts. So Mark put a message up on Twitter, and no doubt he has been doing lots of videos saying that the shaft isn't that important, and if someone calls it the engine, you should walk out. You know, so that is going to upset a few people. Mark is very good at that. But the head is so much more important than the shaft. You know, and I have to agree with him there. And the shaft changes the feel. Obviously, without the shaft, the club isn't very effective at all. But this is the way I look at it. You know, since 2008, so especially with drivers, since 2008, there has been rules that mean the manufacturers can't just make the face really springy. You know, they've set at tolerances. They're working really hard to improve their clubs. If you think about it, you've got the big players, let's say TaylorMade, Callaway, and then you've got the guys behind, Titleist, Mizuno, Cobra. And when I say behind, it might be just people try the others first. So you might disagree with the ordering, but what I'm saying is there's a lot of manufacturers with product that is very similarly priced and does very similar things. So think about this logically. If an exotic shaft could make your product go 10-15 yards further, surely if you were one of the companies that weren't the market leader, you would put that shaft in there, because then your product is going to start outperforming and then people are going to buy your product. And you see that isn't what usually happens. The other thing is, think about exotic shafts. If there is a shaft that makes this club work so much better, it's not an exotic shaft anymore, because if the manufacturer buys 1 million of them, you know, that's going to lower the cost of that shaft. So I hear it all too often, you know, well, it's all about the shaft, and it really isn't. Does the shaft matter? And it does, it matters with feel. So the initial video that I did with Mark, and I do not know when that video was made, probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer. We were trying an X versus a senior shaft, and they felt so different. You know, the senior flex shaft felt terrible, but when we looked at the results weren't showing what I was feeling, you know, or what Mark was feeling. So although the product didn't feel stable, it felt like the shaft was kicking, it felt like it was doing all of this stuff. And when we looked at the result of the ball, we weren't seeing massive differences. If you're on the course, you want product that you feel safe with, confident with. You want to feel like the club is working for you. So obviously that is where the shaft comes in. You know, matching the shaft with the head, when they match up, the strike sounds different. You know, I spent some time with a master fitter for Mizuno, and that's what he was saying. He said when you've got the right combination, you can hear it in the sound. So it's not that the shaft isn't important, but it's not the most important thing. You know, getting the right head, getting the right, you know, shafts, for me it's more about weight and length anyway, and then it's picking something that you feel comfortable with. And it doesn't, that means you might swing it really fast and like a regular, you might swing it really slow and like an extra stiff. You know, you get the right head, get the right combinations, you know, you can create a golf club for you that feels great and performs well. You know, and then like I'm saying with the rest of it, with the shafts, if you want to spend a lot on a shaft, obviously that's up to you. It depends how important it is for your club to feel perfect. You know, and I've used product with stock stuff. I've got one in my Ping. You know, I wanted one shaft and it was on the exotic list, so I got the shaft that was one down from it. You know, the product is still working great. You know, I love the 3-wood. Would I like the feel if I got the exotic shaft? I don't know, you know, probably, you know, and it's sometimes nice to say that you've got the exotic one, but it depends on the golfer. That's entirely up to you, you know, and it depends where you get fit. There's some fantastic fitters around now, you know, and there's no reason for you to have a really bad fit. But the fit, like for me, it's got to start with the head. Then we're looking at the lies, the lengths, before we start going into the exotic shafts. So get some comments down below. You know, am I just being argumentative? Or do you see what I'm saying? You know, I can very much, when I used to like C-Taper X, you know, so I like them. I like the look of the shaft, you know, I'll be honest. You know, the outer coating is really cool. I like the feel, the way I pull on the handle, so I really like the C-Taper X. And then I used to be called a shaftoid because I was always getting that shaft. But it's understanding, actually, I know that C-Taper X isn't going to do everything for me, but if I've got the choice, obviously I want to put the shaft in that I resonate with best and I like the feel of. So that's why it's far more subjective than objective, and I think that's why we will always argue on this topic. But I would like to hear what your opinion is. You know, that's the one thing that we can agree on, is an opinion is opinion, and if it's your opinion, it's your opinion. So get those comments down, like and subscribe. Hope to catch you soon.